your first year.
Yes, that was my introduction to it, which in some ways was like, this is awesome. Like we can just do whatever we want.
Well, as a kid, yeah, it's like camp, right?
Yeah, I mean, our transportation in the beginning was basically a dump truck, and we would, 50 of us would pile into the back of the truck. It wasn't even a bus, and so we'd be transported to and from school in that. And then towards the later half of the year, we got buses. But to look back on it and realize that my parents may not have been exercising their best judgment, and I didn't. I mean, as a 7-year-old, you don't know what you want, and I was just excited to go to India. But what weighs heavily the most on me is that I was extremely sad when I would leave. Like I felt that disconnect, and I would cry a lot that I was missing my parents. And as soon as I was done feeling that sadness, I'd be like, okay, I'm all good now, because that the rush of endorphins that comes in when you're feeling sad to make you feel better just happened naturally. And I was like, I guess that's just part of life. I feel really, really sad and really awful, and then I'm great. So that was kind of a theme throughout my first, I would say 7 or 8 years in India, where I just feel this deep sadness of, I want to be with my parents, but this is life. I'm going to be with my friends, and I'm going to go to India every year. And looking back on that and seeing it with hindsight, I see that it was just painful, and I just let it be. It was just sad. It didn't need to be that way. I don't like that feeling, and I wouldn't. I see that as a, my mom tried to sort of ask me, are you sure you want to go back? And I was always saying, yes, I do. I always want to go back. I want to go back every year, even though I had this pit in my stomach of like, I'll miss you. So that was hard. And yeah.
Do you feel like what you're reflecting on is like that you actually, that was a feeling that you actually didn't want to go and that you were thinking you had to go? Or is it actually like, or is it a combination that you liked it and didn't?
It's both of those. I liked it, and I didn't like the feeling of missing my parents, and I did feel like I hadn't even considered not going. So it was just that as such a young kid, you're not thinking alternate, you don't have the decision-making ability, I don't believe that I did, to really weigh the options. Might be one of the only people feeling it, even though I'm sure I was not. I got the sense that, all these other people, like my brother and all my friends, sort of, I don't see them feeling these feelings, so it must be me, and it'll go away.
Well, I think that actually illuminates a lot too, right? Is that nobody else was showing what they were feeling either. And that became a common thing in the ethos too, is that we kept our feelings internal, because that's not a safe thing to share.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.